Your Excellency, our leader, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Your Excellencies, the former head of states, particularly I want to refer to the chairman of this occasion and the father of our modern democratic process in this country, General Abdulsalam Abubakar. I want to also respectfully recognize the leader of the opposition, our very respected General Muhammad Buhari. May I also recognize the former Vice President, Baba Alex Ikweme, and Admiral Ebiti Ikwe. Excuse me, you can see he's ageless. I've been asking him to please kindly give me the vitamin he takes, that he looks so ageless. May I also recognize our boss, my friend and my brother, a former comrade, chairman of INEC, Professor Atayiru Jega. My elder brother, the National Security Advisor, the Chairman Board of Trustees, Baba Tony Animi. May I also very kindly recognize my senior brother, my Egbon, my colleague, my very good brother, Uncle, as I refer to him, His Excellency Uncle Shogun Oshoba. And I also recognize all the members of the High Table, Your Excellencies, the governors, Your Excellencies, elder statesmen that are all present here, members of the National Assembly, distinguished members of the People's Democratic Party, distinguished members of other political parties, distinguished members of the press corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. When I was invited to come for this interactive session with other political parties, I had a mixed feeling. One, I was not sure if the other political parties will come all, and indeed I am afraid that the chairman of APC, my very good friend and colleague, did not come. Chairman of ABGA did not come, but I'm happy to see that late into the program, the arrival of His Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State, who I believe represents the chairman of ABGA, and I'm also happy to see that the chairman of the Board of Trustees, my very good friend and brother, the person I usually call for over 25 years, GPO, Governor Peter Obi. When I used to call him GPO in those days, Peter, excuse me if I expose us today. I call him GPO all my life since I know him over 25 years ago as General Post Office. Incidentally, he turned out to be Governor Peter Obi of Anambra. So my fear was they will not come. And secondly, I was also thinking, will we have a very sincere, interactive session? On our part, the PDP, we have agreed to come, to fully participate and to sincerely contribute meaningfully Having said that, unfortunately for me, you will agree with me, it is a very, very, very difficult task for me to mention anything that has not been mentioned earlier. The father of modern Nigerian democracy, General Abdulsalam, has spoken. He's spoken very deeply and widely. The National Security Advisor have spoken. And unfortunately for me, my brother and friend and our boss today, the chairman of INEC, not only is he a professor, a very good scholar and an experienced person, has spoken. So at the end of the day, you find that we'll do what they call tautology. Because if you refuse to talk at all, they will say he didn't say nothing. So even if it is for the purpose of repetition, the PDP chairman on behalf of his party will say something. I am indeed very delighted to be here today and to take part in this very important event, the All Nigerian Political Parties and Political Stakeholders Summit. Let me start by thanking the organizers of this summit, and also to state clearly that the People's Democratic Party wholeheartedly welcomes the convening of this summit. The theme, inter-party collaboration, national security, and democratic consolidation. It is most apt, given the reality that has confronted our nation and indeed our collective existence in the recent past. It is indeed a common practice that citizens of every responsible society do come together to confront and respond to situations and circumstances as they emerge. That is why we have collectively gathered here today to respond to the emerging scenario in our democracy and our nation. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Excellencies, undoubtedly the PDP shares a greater burden and responsibility in the sustenance of democracy, being the party that has been in power in the center since 1999, when the Fourth Republic was born. We as a party are conscious, are mindful of the expectations of the Nigerian people from the government. We owe this great nation a sacred duty. It is pertinent, therefore, to state here that we also share those duties with all of you, the political parties and political stakeholders of Nigeria, because Nigeria belongs to all of us. Despite our different political inclinations and our diverse ideological advocacy, we remain united in our common objective of defending and preserving our modern democracy and the unity of purpose of our great country, Nigeria. We may be rivals in the quest and struggle to win the mandate of the people to govern, but within the larger objective of sustaining the Nigerian project, we are all partners. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, the PDP is profoundly encouraged by the buy-in of this summit by the leading opposition parties and stakeholders, irrespective of political differences and quest for power. By this very act, you have demonstrated commitment and dedication to our state-building enterprise, and shown once again that when the stakes are high, our political class will rise beyond party differences and affiliations to attend to the national question. I wish to salute your courage and patriotism in this regard. This is indeed a true reflection of the spirit of the Fourth Republic, which was founded on collective national consensus, selflessness, and inter-party cooperation and collaboration. In order to accelerate the process of nation building, our call goes out to the political parties in Nigeria to further close ranks in the struggle against terrorism and other critical national challenges, to play a pivotal role in improving the living standards of Nigerians who look up to the political class for leadership and indeed for development. The situation this country faces today is not a challenge only to one party, but to all parties and indeed to all Nigerians. I'll give you an example of the Chibok girls. And please excuse my naivety when I tell you what I'm telling you. When the Chibok girls got missing, I got very worried. For those of you who are my very close friends, they know I was indeed very worried personally. I wasn't worried because I was chairman of a party. I was indeed worried as a Nigerian that should happen to those girls, what happened to them. Indeed, when I saw people demonstrating bring back our girls, I was so naive, I'm sorry, excuse my naivety, that my chief of staff, the former minister of FCT, Dr. Aliyu Modibo, was part of those that I sent to go and participate in bring back our girls. He was there for 2 days, only for me to realize that bring back our girls means opposing the government. I just laugh at myself. I say how foolish I was. I thought it was a collective responsibility for all of us Nigerians at that point in time, that we have a common problem as Nigerians. Whoever abducted those girls, we Nigerians should fight against such and make sure those girls are brought back. Then I started hearing blames. It is the fault of the president. It is the fault of this. It is the fault of the federal government. Excuse me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all of us in our houses, we could have a fire outbreak, either from the kitchen or due to electrical fault or due to any other reason. In my house, I have a little fire extinguisher. All my life since I had a house, since I got married, I always had one. Why is it? For me to quench the fire, if I could, before the arrival of the fire brigade. I never knew that because President Goodluck Jonathan had the misfortune of leaving Nigeria at the point Chibok girls were, he was supposed to be the main guard in Chibok Girls Secondary School, when it is not even owned by federal government. So some of these misconceptions, I find it difficult to understand. I think we have a common problem. These girls, the Chibok girls, we must all stand up, irrespective of our political parties or our political ideology. Stand up and fight against those who did it and ask them to please very kindly bring back our girls so that they can join their family members and the rest of our society. These are some of the problems that I misunderstand as a political leader. Mr. Chairman and Your Excellencies, you will also recall that in 2011, the political class took a bold step towards a positive and responsible leadership vision when all political parties subscribed to and signed to a code of conduct on political behavior. That document outlines the standards that we regulate our behavior and conduct as political parties. I therefore wish to use this opportunity to call on all political parties to fully implement the terms and conditions set out in the Code of Conduct and to work towards the issue-based and rancor-free campaigns and peaceful elections. Having said that, I also want to draw your attention. Last week, we had a very successful outing in Ado-Ekiti, the capital of Ekiti State, as PDP. To my dismay, The other political party, the APC, went to the stadium where we held rally. Funny enough, led by the governor and other very serious and respected political leaders. Excuse my use of word, especially Uncle Shebu, to say that they went to sweep whatever we have left. This,
Chairman, you have 1 minute to go.
I don't mind, but I will say the truth, because we are talking of political rancors. I don't think this practice is correct, because as a result of this unfortunate incident, some people lost their life. When we go for political rallies, let it be done and it's finished, so that we don't have any problem. This issue of when we went to Kano after our rally, the governor led a team, they swept stadium. How can a man be sweeping? Anyway, this is not my problem.
Chairman, can we discuss that in the preliminaries, please?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, sir. With all due respect, we are talking of this political, and I'm worried, very worried, that we should not bring problems where there are none. The PDP believes deeply in this summit and will participate fully in including the past summit phase. I therefore call on other political parties and stakeholders to show similar commitment. I therefore, on behalf of the People's Democratic Party, wish to express our very sincere thanks and gratitude to all participants who have come here today and wish us a very successful summit. Thank you. May the Almighty God continue to bless all of us. And may God bless Nigeria and bless the leadership of this country. Thank you.